Hello and welcome back to the channel. You're joining me on Monday morning. I'm going to start doing these like weekly updates as we have in the showroom. Had a good weekend. The Range Rover Evoque that I mentioned in the last weekly update went out on the Sunday. He's very happy with that. Took a real cheap Mercedes-Benz part exchange in against that, which I'm hoping to use as a runner to go and collect another car from a trader later this week. We'll have a look around that in just a second. Got a couple of appointments already over the weekend as well, booked in for later this week. So some of you who are familiar with the channel and watched the last video, the GLC that I took in part exchange against the GLE, that's got an appointment on it this afternoon, so that's nice and quick. If that is a successful one, that'll be a really good turnaround of stock. This is the Mercedes-Benz that I've taken in part exchange against a Range Rover Evoque. It's nothing special, but it really is cheap. I think I've given £600 in part exchange, which for a car that runs and drives and has an MOT is no money, but cosmetically it's not the best, it's fair to say. Got a bit of paintwork issues on the door here where it's had previous paint. But all in all, it drives okay. That plate's now come off it. A little bit of rust spot on a dent there as well. Edge of the door isn't great. But for 600 quid, someone's going to use it as a runner for something. It drives well, there's no warning lights on it or anything like that, so I'm sure it'll be fine. We've also got another customer's car back here. It's a Porsche Panamera. They absolutely love the car, and it is genuinely a really wonderful example. But the aircon compressor doesn't seem to be wanting to play ball, which on a hybrid is a rather expensive fix if it is that. Just for some indication, if we were to ring, or have already rang Porsche and got a quote on what it would be for an aircon compressor from them, it's you're talking genuinely about £5,000. Which for an aircon compressor is absolutely ludicrous, but we do want to get the problem sorted for the customer, especially as we're coming into the summer. No one wants their aircon to not be working. Been in touch with Design 911, which are a parts supplier as well. We're hoping we can get one for just under £1,000 plus the VAT, so it'll be about £1,100 including VAT. There's a G63 that's just roared past, if you heard that. So yeah, we need to get that over to the workshops now, so they can actually diagnose it and confirm that it is a compressor before we go and order really expensive parts. So the customer's all happy, which is always good. Always appreciate it when they're willing to work with us rather than stamping their feet, because we do want to get it sorted. We want to make sure that we get it sorted right the first time round rather than just throwing money at it for no good reason. We've also got an appointment booked for tomorrow on this Jaguar E-Pace. They're only local to us, which is always nice, so they'll be in tomorrow morning for that. So the appointment on the GLC is this afternoon about 4:30, and the E-Pace appointment is tomorrow about 11, I think they said. And then we've also got today as well, we sold the Bentley last weekend, so we just need to give that a quick wash. Once we get back from the workshops, we're dropping that Panamera off. We're going to give that one a quick wash because we're going to deliver that to our customers in Barnstaple today. It is too big to go on our trailer because it's over 5 meters long and obviously weighs, it's like 2.6 or something like that. So massive car to go onto the trailer. I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable towing it anyway. So we're going to drive that over, which they're absolutely fine with. So yeah, bit going on for a Monday. And then we've also got a car that has seemingly been abandoned outside the showroom. It's been here since about 12:30 yesterday. It's unlocked and the windows are open and it's all a little bit scruffy, so we're not really sure what the story is with that. We put it onto a local Facebook page, you know, when you see these spotted pages, so we put it onto one of those asking if anyone knows anything about it, because of course at the moment it's just blocking our cars and we don't really want to be having to deal with something like that. But yeah, not a bad start to the week to have a couple of good appointments and a couple of handovers get sorted. An update on the red Range Rover. Again, if you're familiar, we sold a red Range Rover last week. Tow bar electrics got delivered. They're now down at the workshops, of which that's going to be sorted today, and he's going to pick that up, I think, on Wednesday, but I'll confirm that with the customer. So yeah, fair bits going on. A couple of cars to collect later in the week as well, which you'll see what they are, one of which I'm quite excited about. But let's get to it. The Panamera is now at the workshop, so they're going to check that out today, which will be nice and quick. We've just cleaned the Bentley, so we're literally just about to leave to go to Barnsport to deliver that. But I've got a slight update regarding the car that is seemingly abandoned. It is of interest to the police. We ran through to the non-emergency line. Just wanted to make them aware, just in case it was a car that was of interest to them. And apparently it is, so which most likely indicates it's been stolen and dumped outside the showroom, which I'm very, very surprised about. Within this area, it's not something that we'd necessarily think would happen, but you know, it does happen. So we're just going to wait for the police to turn up. It's not an emergency thing, so they're just going to kind of try and squeeze us in throughout the day, I guess. But we're obviously going to head to Barnsport now. So we might miss them, we might not. We might come in later this afternoon. And I've also got someone who wants to come and have a look at the BMW 6 Series this afternoon. So yeah, it's just a slight update. But yeah, very strange that a car's been dumped outside the showroom. We've got CCTV, which of course we're very happy to give across to the police should they want it. It doesn't really show an enormous amount, but they might find it useful. Yeah, just a small update really. It's now Tuesday morning, and unfortunately, the car that has been abandoned is still abandoned. The police were supposed to come yesterday, but they never showed up. So Sophie's literally on hold with Devon and Cornwall Police now, trying to get an ETA, because it's just in the way of the 3 cars here. Of course, I feel for whoever's car it is if it has been stolen. But at the same time, you know, it needs to be moved so that we can get these cars out without causing any danger to anyone that's passing by. And it is stuck out quite a bit. I'd hate for someone to be distracted when coming around that bend there and hit it. So that's the update on the car that's possibly been stolen and abandoned outside the showroom. It is fully unlocked. There's a couple of windows down and there's just rubbish all over the car. It also smells. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, that. But what we've got planned today is we're going to get the GLC down to Valeting at the body shop, because he's going to take a look at that plastic trim bit there, see if he can work some magic on that. So I'm going to move this Range Rover, which we've also had an inquiry on overnight from a local chap. So emailed him back. So we're going to get that one down to the body shop now. Make sure the Range Rover's all clean if he does want to come in for a test drive or a look around or anything like that. See what Valeting can do, because he has done some marvellous work for us previously and somehow worked some magic, so hopefully he can do the same on that there. And then I've also been ringing around to a couple of Porsche specialists this morning regarding the white Panamera and the aircon compressor issue. They also don't have the Porsche specialist systems to be able to shut down the high voltage line, to be able to take that aircon compressor off, which is disappointing to hear. Because it's more and more sounding like it's going to be a main dealer only job. I have also just inquired with a couple of EV specialists, so not necessarily Porsche specialists, but EV specialists in the local area as well. Hopefully they can help me. It's more to the point that I think the local Porsche centre in Exeter is about £200 an hour, and it's a kind of a needs must situation. If I need to take it to them, then I will, but if I can get it done at a specialist that does electric vehicles or anything like that close by, then I'd rather do so. And you also tend to find they've got a better availability, and they actually do a really good job if they're specialists in that area rather than the main dealers. So it's still ongoing. My customer's been very, very kind about it, because the car still runs and drives and they can still use it at everything that they need to do. But obviously we are coming into relatively warm weather, so it needs the aircon to be sorted, and we will get it done. It's just it's a little bit of an ongoing project, that one, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, a couple of appointments today. Hopefully on the e-pace they'll turn up this morning at about 11, and then 6 Series man, he's hinted he's going to come and have a look at it today, but he hasn't given us an exact time, so don't know. And the Range Rover one is an ongoing inquiry. We're also going to clean this red Range Rover so it's ready for handover tomorrow. So yeah, another busy day. Hopefully the police will arrive soon and we can sort that car out one way or another. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so Tuesday afternoon, I've actually been out on a bit of a recovery mission. Customer bought their Range Rover, must be 3 years ago at least, and they only live local to us, but annoyingly they've left their lights on overnight for a couple of nights. They've not driven it for a couple of days, gone in, realised they've left the lights on the side lights, so it wouldn't start. So I've been over with our jump starter, which is only this little thing. It's a Noco or Noco jump starter, and honestly it's the best thing that we bought to start cars. Revives things back from the dead, I reckon. So yeah, took it over, fired straight up once we had that on it, and they're going to go over to Halfords now to get a proper chickle charger and also get the battery health check done as well. So if it needs a new battery, then they'll get that done. But yeah, they're only local, about 15 minutes away, so I thought I'd jump in, try and help them out whilst I can. And yeah, so now we're back at the showroom. Car is still there, the abandoned one is still there behind us. Not really sure what the latest is with that. Had a couple of appointments turn up, which I'll give you an update in just a second. It is now just gone 5 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, so we've still got a little bit longer to go at the showroom, but I thought I'd just do the day's recap at this point here. So the red Range Rover is all cleaned and ready to go, fueled up, ready for our customer to come down from Bristol. He'll be here around tomorrow lunchtime, so I'm hoping I can get down to Saltash and back to collect a bit of stock, so very much looking forward to seeing that. We may have been a little ambitious with this bit of trim. He says he can repair it, so he's had it down there this afternoon. He can repair it, but the difficulty is going to be matching the texture of the plastic, what's already on it, and the bit that he puts in. So we've actually come up with a new plan. With the GLCs, it's always quite nice when they have the side steps. So I really like the GLCs, we've had them before, and they do look better with the side steps. So we've got some OEM looking side steps from a company that we've had them from previously. And I think they're about 140 quid or something like that, because to replace just that plastic side trim from Mercedes to just get the one side was about 150 quid plus the VAT. So I thought, well, we could elevate the look of it, get the side steps for 140 quid for both sides. We'll get it back down to Valentine once we've got them, and he's very happy to fit them for us, which is great. I've also been talking with the chap today regarding this gorgeous Bentley, the W12 Flying Spur that we currently have in stock. He's coming all the way from the other side of Oxford, so it's probably got to be at least a 4-hour drive for him to come down tomorrow, but very confident in the car because it is absolutely lovely. The people that were interested in the GLC still are. Apparently they're going to be doing a finance application this evening, because you can do that via a link that we send over on email, so fingers crossed for that one there. Also mentioned earlier about this Range Rover, had an appointment on that. He was a really nice local chap, really liked the car, not completely convinced on the 2-litre hybrid aspect of it. So I think he wants an autobiography and he wants a facelifted version, so obviously it has the soft touch steering wheel controls and the 2 screens, etc, etc, but I think he'd feel more comfortable in a 3-litre turbo diesel variant of, and it's quite often the case that we have people come and look at a car, decide it's not for them, which isn't a problem at all, and we always offer the service to try and help them find the right one. So he is actively looking, he wants to buy a local, and we do quite often get offered things like that, so hopefully we get offered one soon enough that could work well for him. And also had the test drive come in for the BMW 630D. Once again, really enjoyed the car, and but he didn't quite realise that it wasn't the X-Drive variant. This is just a rear-wheel drive variant on this one here, which is still a lovely car, but people want what they want. So yeah, he's hoping for an X-Drive version. Again, we said we'd keep an eye out, so we've had 2 test drives but no sales today. It happens, it's part of being in the motor trade, but hopefully we can source something for the both of them. And then tomorrow we've got quite a full-on day. We've got a customer dropping their car off in the morning for us to investigate a knock from the rear, so I'm not sure what that could be, because that's the only description we've got to go on at the moment, but we'll get that down to the workshops in the morning. And then we've got 2 new bits of stock arriving, because we've got the Freelander coming in against this on part exchange, and a new bit of stock which I'm excited to show you that I'll pick up from Max, who's a very regular trader of ours, tomorrow morning. And then last but not least, the updates on the white Porsche Panamera. I'm very grateful that I have some really kind and understanding customers, because we've explained the situation to them. The aircon compressor being on the high voltage line is not as easy as what it would be on a traditional car to unbolt it and bolt a new one on, because the voltage of a hybrid system can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So we did manage to find an auto electrician who is a specialist in electric and hybrid vehicles. The 2 Porsche specialists that we spoke to didn't feel comfortable doing it. Porsche main dealer, they were booked up for weeks anyway and weren't the most helpful on the phone, which unfortunately we've had before with main dealers. And then We found this auto electrician who's a specialist in the electric vehicles and the hybrid side of things. We've got it booked in for Monday the 30th. So I have said to my customers, I'm really sorry that we haven't been able to get it sorted on this visit, but we do have a plan to get it sorted on your next visit. We've got the compressor, which, as I say, is about £1,000 plus the VAT. And we've got it booked in with the specialist, who I know his labour rate isn't the cheapest, but if he can get the job done and we're satisfied with the work, then we don't mind doing it, because it means that the car's then working as it should, and we'll have some happy customers. So yeah, very grateful that they're very understanding of it. But yeah, not a bad Tuesday by any means. Would have been nice to sell on one of the appointments, of course, because that's what we're here for. But hopefully we've secured some future business, and we've still got some decent ongoing inquiries. As I say, GLC, fingers crossed for the finance application on that. And this Bentley has an appointment on it tomorrow. So again, fingers crossed. We'll catch up in the morning. It is now Wednesday morning, so it's just a Wednesday morning brief, really. The abandoned car is still abandoned, so I'm going to have to get in touch with the police again. And I mean, it is unlocked, and I would jump in and put the handbrake off and roll it forward. But annoyingly, when they've abandoned it, the front wheels are turned at an angle, and obviously the steering locks come on. So even if I was to try and push it forward, we're only going to be pushing it into the main road. But it's a bit of a dangerous place for it to be, so I'm hoping if I harass the police a little bit, they might do something about it, but it can't just continue to stay there. Just about to leave, meet Max in this part exchange. We're going to meet at Saltash because it's about halfway for us. And then I'm going to pick up the new bit of stock, which I'm quite excited about. Obviously, this one's all looking very pretty for our appointment on it at midday, which is all good. The side steps for this should be here on Thursday / Friday. I've had the notification that they are being dispatched today. And then obviously the red Range Rover is all looking good. I've also polished a couple of marks. I've been in early this morning, polished a couple of marks on the passenger door, just to make it obviously what it needs to be. And then this is my customer's car here. They haven't had it for too long, probably 3 months or so, something like that, of which there's a knocking / clunking coming from the rear end. So I've got to drop that down to the workshops when I get back for that to be investigated, because of course we don't want that to develop into anything more serious, and we want it to be right. So that's the Wednesday morning brief, of which I'm literally just about to leave now, jump in that Merc and head down. But I'll take this with me so that you can see the new bit of stock. So I'm now at the Salt Ash Services. This is where I meet Max, because it's about halfway between the two of us. So what I've got here, I'm quite excited about. It is the GLE 350 AMG line Premium Plus, but it's the coupe version as well. And it's also got a Maxton kit, which is relatively recent to be fitted to it. And these alloy wheels, they're Vossen alloy wheels. And if you know alloy wheels, these are very, very good ones. And they're very, very expensive. They're about £4,000 to purchase new, because we found them. And they've got a bit of like a deeper dish to them as well. And the back one's even more so. Decent tyres all around as well. So yeah, I think it looks really quite smart with the kit. It's not something I'd ordinarily be excited about, but I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. Especially because it's black as well, of course, with the black pack already from factory. The rear diffuser looks cool. Got a bit of a spoiler on the back boot there. Those alloys are stunning, the black side steps. So yeah, really quite excited. And of course, because it's the Premium Plus pack as well, it has the panoramic sunroof, which you can see there, of course. Keyless entry and start. We've got the Harman Kardon sound system, electric heated memory seats as well. Needs a real good valet, but of course we'll do that when we get it back. Flat bottom steering wheel, got the later command system. It's also got 360-degree cameras. It's a lovely spec on this thing, really. So yeah, really quite excited about it. A trademark of Max as he leaves the Costa Cup in the glove box there, in the centre cup holder. But just stunning, really. There we go, so it does work. That goes up. Needs a real good valet in there, but no, really quite pleased about the new bit of stock. We've had various different GLEs previously, but we've not had a facelifted coupe before. So yeah, we'll see how this does in terms of the stock. I don't think it'll hang around for too long. I think they're quite good value. It has done 100,000 miles, so it is up on the mileage, but apparently used to belong to a professional boxer who is rising up the ranks. I don't really follow the boxing, but yeah, used to belong to a professional boxer previously. So it's got 100,000 miles. It's got a lovely service history to back it up though. So I paid £20,650 for it as it is. Of course, we need to give it a good valet. We always also do fresh servicing and MOTs, but I think it's going to be probably 23,995 on the forecourt, maybe a touch more if we can push for it, given the fact that it's got the kit and the wheels and stuff. But obviously you can't be silly just because it has those things. But yeah, we'll get it back to the showroom and get it all valeted. It is now 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. Eddie's had enough for the day. But it's been a relatively successful day. A very quick update regarding the abandoned car. Apparently it has been stolen. The owner of the vehicle has now been in touch with us. It was stolen off his mum's drive. They know that it's not taxed or MOT'd or anything like that. But it was apparently pinched from there and apparently been abused since then. And when I mentioned earlier that it smells, it's of substances. I'm not sure how much I can actually say on YouTube, but it smells of substances that are not necessarily legal. But anyway, moving on from that, got back, had the handover. So this is the Freelander that's coming part of the Range Rover part exchange, but we'll look at that in a second. Had the Bentley appointment, of which that is now sold. So very, very pleased about that. He's a really nice chap, come all the way down from just the other side of Oxford. It turned up about 1 o'clock, just after my Range Rover people had left. And then I was with him till just gone 4 o'clock. A very, very particular man, going through all of the invoices that we have with the vehicle, then going through the absolute entirety of the vehicle. But I genuinely don't mind it. If anything, I welcome it, because then I know absolutely that they're very happy with the purchase that they've decided to make, because they have absolutely seen everything with the vehicle. So just need to put that through for an MOT, and we'll give it another inspection to make sure everything's what it needs to be. We've already done a YouTube video on this car, so if you haven't seen that, check that out. There are 2 parts available. It wasn't the easiest car to prep, but we did get there in the end. But moving back on to the Freelander, so this is the part exchange, and I think it's a good value car to go on with. It's an automatic. It's the 2.2 SD4 engine, which is the better engine to have. Done 93,000 miles, needs a really good valet. And it also needs a really good polish as well. It's got a couple of these hedge rash marks all the way down the bodywork. So yeah, we need to get that valeted tomorrow. Of course, I would have liked to have got started on it with this afternoon, but I'm on my own today for one. So I've had the day off, and obviously I spent the majority of time with my Bentley appointment, and then after he'd left, it's then also getting back to people that I'd missed in the afternoon, whether it be emails, phone calls, etc., because of course it is an ongoing thing. So I then spent the next hour doing that and putting the forecourt back together, because it is a great forecourt. We do love it, but it's quite a lot of moving cars around to facilitate obviously getting them off the plinth and then moving them around to get them into here. So yeah, really pleased with the Freelander. That's a lovely bit of stock. And I'm genuinely very pleased with the GLE. I think it looks absolutely fantastic on those alloy wheels, and with the Maxton kit, it looks mean and menacing in the black. It's got the red calipers and the AMG calipers. Drove absolutely lovely, didn't miss a beat all the way back, and they're very pleasant to be in, especially when they're the Premium Plus, because they do have a bit more of a specification to them, and the aircon's lovely and cool. It's about 27, 28 degrees here today, so yeah, really appreciated that. I just think it looks absolutely menacing. Definitely a good competitor to the Range Rover Sport, and I don't think it will hang around for too long. And as I say, those alloys there, £4,000 Boston alloys, it can only help it when it comes to trying to sell these type of cars. So yeah, really, again, another productive day on a Wednesday. There's a Ford GT that drives past, and he absolutely tears it up the other way, and it sounds fantastic. It genuinely brightens my day when he goes by. As long as obviously he's safe when doing so. Oh, we've got another Bentley coming through as well. Some nice cars out today. The sun brings out nice cars, doesn't it? That's the GT. the later shape as well, the Generation 3 GT, so that's nice. But yes, very pleased regarding the appointment on the Bentley. Obviously had a little bit of a shift around to bring it off the front there, move the GLC over to this side. The side step should be with me tomorrow, of which I'm then going to send a picture to my customer that was interested in doing the finance application to make sure that they like it, because they say it sounds good, but just want to double check that we like it before going through the finance side of things as well. And yeah, so the boys haven't had an enormous amount of attention today, so we're going to tidy everything up here, wash everything up that's been used, and then head over to a field which is just across the way to give them a good run around. So yeah, successful Wednesday. So it's now Thursday morning and the car has gone. Seems to have been collected yesterday evening / last night. The owner got in touch. They had permission from the police to come and move it apparently, but then we also had a police officer ring us this morning to say, is the car still there? So don't know really what happened there, but it doesn't really matter too much as long as it's kind of out of the way and less of an inconvenience to us. That's all good news. It's now 11:20, so since we've been here first thing this morning, it's been pretty much an admin morning with ordering parts for cars that we need, customers' cars and also stock cars, and organising a workshop visit for someone who's just bought a vehicle from Bournemouth. It was the Range Rover Evoque actually that went out over the weekend. He says when you drive for more than 30 minutes, the CD player starts to crackle, or the radio unit starts to crackle and shut down, and then we'll restart, and it goes for another little while and before it starts to do the same thing. Looking online at forums, which is what he's done, and myself, it seems to be something to do with the amplifier. So we're going to get that investigated with a auto electrician up near him. And obviously it's still under warranty, so obviously no issues in getting that sorted for him and covering the bill. But it does mean that it has delayed our time in getting started on these two to clean and prepare them to photograph and advertise. We're going to start with the GLE because that's quite exciting, and I think that'd be a nice one to get onto the website, and then we'll start with the Freelander after that. I'd like to get at least one of them cleaned and advertised and photographed today, which would be the ideal situation, and then hopefully also the side steps turn up for the GLC and we can get those fitted. I've also got to clean all of the Forecourt cars. Forgot to mention, we must do this at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week. It obviously is dependent. If it's raining every day, then there's no real necessity to do so, but we are in a bit of a hot spell at the minute, which I am not complaining by any means, but being on such a busy main road, it gets dusty quite quickly. So the cars, they look dusty, so we're going to get those cleaned off today as well. As I say, it takes about an hour and a half to do all of them properly, so yeah, we must do that. It must be 3 times a week. To interrupt the Forecourt clean to bring the Bentley over to the workshops because they can get it MOT'd and pre-delivery inspection etc. this afternoon. They've had some space free up, so that's all fine. Absolutely gorgeous drive over on a lovely sunny day, and I'm now in the Citroen Berlingo that they're very kindly lending me. So yeah, funny how it goes sometimes. But back to the showroom now to do the rest of the Forecourt clean, and hopefully we can get on with the GLE. Alright, so we are just coming up 4 o'clock on a Thursday. All of the cars are now washed on the Forecourt, so they're now looking loads better. But the annoying thing is, which is part and parcel of being where we are, I'll most likely be cleaning them again on Saturday morning, especially this time of year. It just gets so dusty along the road. And of course you want people when they pull up to have a look at cars, because sometimes people pull up without permanent appointments or anything like that. You want them to be looking as good as they can be. The red Freelander's actually cleaned up all right. It's obviously only an external wash that I've done at the moment, but I do think they look pretty in the silver. We've also had my customer's Range Rover back from the workshops. So we had it up on the ramps. Matt, the technician's got a lever bar into anything that can move, and made sure it's all tight, and it was. Checked all of the fluid levels on the diff and also the transfer case, all looking really, really clean and functioning as they should be. We then found that the spare wheel holdall, like it tightens down to keep the spare wheel still, that was loose, so it like wasn't even done up. So we seem to think that that's what was knocking, because we've driven it around since and there's no knocking. So a nice and easy fix, which is what we like. And the GLE is slowly getting dirtier than we realised, really. Soph does an excellent job as always, but being 4 o'clock on a Thursday and still got a bit of admin work to do, I'm not convinced we're going to get it photographed and advertised today, but we can absolutely say that it will be done tomorrow. It's just, these things take time. Bentley's at the workshop, he seems to be very happy with it all. I think the MOT is actually booked for the Monday morning, but I'll get it down there obviously today so we can check it over to make sure that when we do MOT it, there are no advisories. So yeah, all looking good, all in hand. Since he's not having it next week, I don't mind not having it until next week, sorry. I don't mind that we MOT on Monday, because it means that it's a longer MOT for him the other side. But yeah, that's the very small update, and I haven't had the side steps yet for the GLC, even though I had the text message this morning to say they were out for delivery. So hopefully they turn up. Happy Friday, people. We made it to the end of the week. So plan today is to get these two photographed and advertised. We've just washed off the GLE again, because obviously it gets dusty overnight, but that's all going to dry quite quickly because it's rather warm. Obviously I've had to clear this space on the forecourt. Photos are something that I take an enormous amount of pride in when I take the photos of the stock. Very particular about them. Everything's got to be absolutely right and uniformed and straight and level and etc, etc. Minimum 40 photos per car. It's most likely more than 50, and I think the average is about 52 on our website, 52 images per car. I know there are some places out there that have 100 photos of the car, but then I do think a lot of them are very, very much the same. I just find that, you know, around 50 photos is a good number, and you can display the car really quite nicely, and hopefully obviously it entices people to inquire about it. We sell quite a lot of cars all over the UK, and I think a lot of it is because we take an enormous amount of pride when doing the advert in the first place, that people feel that they can see the car in really good detail about it. We use a proper camera. I know there are loads of people out there that just park it up anywhere, take a few photos on the phone, upload them, and then obviously in the hopes that people inquire. But the photos, I've always just been really particular about them, to make sure that they are absolutely right. The only thing we do have to play around with this time of year is shadows. We're all right for a minute, but sometimes as it comes over, you get quite a lot of shadow onto the car, and I don't like that side of things either. I like it to be all out of shadow, or if it's late enough in the evening and it's all in shadow but still light enough, you still get it, because obviously it distorts the lines of the cars, etc. But yeah, always taking an enormous amount of pride in the photos. So we're going to bring this one into the showroom. Obviously it's had an external wash, but still needs a good valet, so we've cleared the space in the showroom for that to go in. So whilst I'm photographing the GLE, Soph's going to crack on with cleaning the Freelander, and I do have to park cars just outside here to clear up the space that I can get back further enough and then zoom in. You always get a better picture when you're far away and you zoom in. It gets rid of the whole distortion of depth perception. It's just a photography thing, I suppose. So that is the plan, to get those two done today. We've got no appointments, which is a little bit of a shame. It's been a bit of a funny week, really. Seems to have had a lot of appointments on cars. We've only had one sale, and don't get me wrong, I'm very, very grateful for that sale on the Bentley, and I'm really pleased that it's going to who it's going to. He I don't think I mentioned it actually, he had a first generation Bentley Continental flying spur, 2006, and he uses the car daily. It's just coming up to 130,000 miles. Feels like he needs to change, but I'm really pleased that this Bentley is going to someone who will use it properly and daily as their car. So yeah, I thought that was really quite cool. But we're going to get the Mobland spec GLE all photographed now, and then hopefully Freelander's a little bit filthy inside, but we'll be able to get that in, clean it all up, give it a polish down the sides, and get that photographed and advertised later this afternoon. It's now 4 p.m. on Friday. The weekend is so very nearly here. Not that it makes too much of an odds to me because I will be in tomorrow doing a few extra bits. Slight update on the side steps for the GLC. Rang through to XDP because it's been in their delivery depot for a couple of days, and kind of explained that obviously I'm hoping to receive the steps, but supposedly due out tomorrow, so I may come in tomorrow and fit those side steps. But I'm certainly going to give the cars another wash. We spent hours today cleaning the Freelander 2 that came in part exchange, but it is starting, well, it definitely looks more like it now. I've given it a machine polish because there were some really nasty marks down the sides, but they've come up really well. I'm sure you remember it from earlier in the video, but this is now looking a lot nicer on the inside as well. We've ordered some new mats, some rubber mats, but it's now looking that much cleaner. So I'm going to photograph and advertise this afternoon. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, there are two ideal times to do it, and we're just coming into the other one now where there isn't much of a shadow coming over the car. So a few minutes and that shadow will be gone, and then I'll be able to get the best photos I can. Obviously, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes there are other things to do, and you just have to take the pictures of the car and hope that they'll do good enough. The Mobland spec GLE 350D AMG Night Edition is now advertised. It's listed as fair price on Auto Trader, and sometimes I always try to avoid that, but sometimes I don't mind it quite so much, just because it does have a few aftermarket things that have been fitted, and I think for a coupe it still looks really good value with everything that it's got on it. So hopefully we get an inquiry on that soon. And given it's a nice sunny weekend, I'm sure we'll get some inquiries over the weekend on a few other bits of stock. So yeah, it's going to take me a little while to photograph and advertise this, and then of course put the forecourt all back together, bollards back in and etc. Tidy up all the inside because all the cleaning stuff is still everywhere, but I do want to get it photographed. And then I'm going to sit and edit this video so that you can enjoy it tonight. Yeah, as I say, I'll be in tomorrow, but Friday is always still a nice thing to come around. It's been a relatively good week. Had a few issues, few niggles and stuff that we've had to kind of work our way through. A couple of customers to have some kind of difficult conversations with in some aspects, but there's always a solution, and we try and help out as much as we can. So yeah, I really hope that you're still enjoying this format of video. Please let me know in the comments if you have. We're going to be going out to see some friends tonight because it is a Friday night, so very much looking forward to that, and I hope you all have a really good weekend, and we'll check in again next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The channel is growing, really appreciating it, and we've had some really lovely comments from people. We've had some communications with customers and stuff that are starting to see our videos, so yeah, it's really a nice feeling, so thank you very much, and we'll catch up next week.